Oh, hello, and welcome back to the Parlay Closet podcast. We're going to have your host, me, Waz, and Gibby, and we're going to be going over now in this episode UFC 292. All right, boys, how we feeling this week? How we feeling after last week? What y'all think of Vegas 78?
I mean, that. Demir Blackshear getting that twister, that was pretty incredible. I thought with that submission, and I told you guys about Vincente Luque winning. So
Yeah, you're right on that. I didn't expect D1 wrestler Luque, to be perfectly honest with you, but I don't know what's with these strikers turning wrestlers. Doesn't make it for that exciting, but he won. How'd you guys do in bets?
Finally positive.
Finally positive.
I
You
needed
do
a
have
bounce
good for a bit, just not the last 2 weeks.
back. The last of all, in Nashville lost about 1,500. But was able to come up on Vegas about 2,400. Yeah, so Demir Blackshear 5 units at minus 255. McKinney under 1.5 was 2.7 units at minus 270. Martin Boudet at minus 198, and then Marcus McGee via KO at minus 140 all cashed. So not too bad.
I did pretty decent myself. I just got screwed by I took the wrong method for Blackshear. I said audibly, he's not going to knock him out. I should only take submission decision. Double chance. I messed up. Took it KO decision. And then Martin Boudet decided, hey, I want to actually be a finisher now. And that screwed me on method. But for like straight parlays and round robins, I did pretty solid overall. I did have one really nice parlay. It was a 6-legger. Got busted by that Dawodu loss, that robbery, which I said live. I feel like he was going to get robbed. And remember, even looking in the episode, I said if he plays with his food, that's how he's going to lose decisions and lose fights. I said that last week, and look what came to be true.
yeah, I felt like the prelims were better than the main card, though.
Definitely.
Was there no decisions on the prelims?
Nope. And the only good thing about the main card, in my opinion, was my lock of the night that hit. Khalil Roundtree KO round 1. Hit easily. Hit like he hit the crap out of Chris Dawkins straight out the UFC. Surprised he's not been cut yet, to be honest with you. They might keep him around to watch him get beat up a little bit more, to be honest with you.
Of course. Who doesn't like to see someone get beat up?
I mean, why would you ever want to see that? Do you watch like mixed martial arts? That's disgusting. All
right, boys. Let's get into this 292. Going to Boston. When was the last time there was a Boston card? Like 4 years ago?
Yeah, it's been like 4 years, I think, actually, when I looked it up last.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
Should be an interesting one. So, from the get-go here, let me know if you guys have the same fight, but I believe per everything it is Silva versus
Morose.
Yep.
Morose.
It might be a little mixed up on the UFC's end because they're sliding in the Ultimate Fighter winners, which are going to be announced tonight. So it might be a little out of order. But yeah, I have Silva and Morose as the first fight.
Cool. All right, so I can go ahead and break this one down. So, this is a rematch close to what, nine years in the making?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Back in 2014, I think it was.
Well before UFC.
Yeah. Morozo ended up submitting Silva, I think, via armbar, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to establish some control there and got caught, but, it just seems like Silva was, very green at the time. So the win, who knows? It's been so long. 9 years is a long time. A lot of fights in between there. Not a whole lot to say. Should be an interesting one. I think it'll just go the distance here. So I am leaning slightly more towards the Morose side of it. I'm going to take that side of this. And then as far as a method, I'm going to go decision. Don't like this fight. Won't be betting this fight, but for a game, I'm gonna go Moroz via decision.
Hmm. I'm gonna piggyback off what you're saying, Was. I agree with most of what you're saying. Like you said, I believe it was a round 1 submission for Moreau's first time around. I think Moreau's has been a bit of a downcline. Silva's been a bit of an upcline, but neither to a significant amount to make this really that exciting of a fight. I'm leaning towards Silva money line in terms of betting wise. I will put a little bit on that, but I feel if you really want a good bet on this one, I think over 1.5 is actually a good bet. I believe Moreau's has not been finished in the UFC yet. Yeah, not been finished in the UFC.
Nope.
Silva's not a great finisher. I think over 1.5, like most women's MMA fights, is one of your best bets possibly. But in terms of method for a game, Silva decision. That's what I'm going for. I'm not going to try and be spicy with this one. I don't know how I'm doing in the game. How are we doing in the game, Gibby?
Yeah, looks like I'm still in the lead by so last week.
noob. The
Yeah,
noob's in the lead.
Yeah, so comparing to the last, I think we did 3 cards, right?
Mhm.
3
Yep.
cards, yeah. So overall, I got 90. Noah, you got 80, and Waz got 82. But like
Okay.
last week, Noah, you slowly catching up. So last week you got 33 points, I got 34, so I beat you just a little by 1, and Waz got 29 points. So
I believe my main thing was not method, but fighters who won. I think I was only wrong on Luke and Dawadu, right? I think those are the only things I was wrong on.
Luke, Dawadu, and then I think you took Paulina Viana.
Oh, I took her, yeah.
And
Oh well.
Yasmin won, but overall, how the fight ended, you got 7 out of 13 right, so that's pretty good too. So, but overall for this card, yeah, Silva, she's 2-0 UFC, both by first round submission, 1-0 Contender Series 2. So my big question for her is the stamina. Can she hold all? Can she make it to the 3 rounds? I know that what's her name? The Iron Lady. Yeah, there we go. She has. I mean, she won.
The Iron Lady.
Yeah, she has. She won 4 by decision, 2 by submission. So I know she can make it to decision, and she beat Bueno Silva today, though too. And she posted for Playboy. Ooh. She posed for Playboy once or for something, right? Yeah.
That's a very important fight statistic, Gibby. I'm happy you provided that.
It is. So I'm going definitely with the Iron Lady, but I'm going with decision. I'm not picking anything specific.
All on decisions. Nice. All right, let's look into the next one. Another Silva. Natalia Silva versus Andrea Lee. I said that out of order, but oh well. I'll break this one down. Of the Silvas on the card, I'd say I'm definitely more interested in the fighting prowess of Natalia Silva on a nice 3-fight winning streak, 2 by pretty brutal knockouts, to be honest with you. Versus Andrea Lee, who I'm not very high on, to be honest with you, on a 2-fight losing streak, I believe. Yep, 2-fight losing streak. I think Natalia Silva's got really solid grappling, really solid striking, really improved striking overall, and I think she could beat the piss out of Andrea Lee. I don't like Andrea Lee's last fights. I know people said the Barber loss was a robbery. I don't think it was. I think it was just a close fight. And I think Silva's probably on the come up. She's probably going to be on the come up in terms of women's MMA fighters. So I'm going with Natalia Silva. Betting wise, I'm not going to touch it. I think I wrote over 1.5 for this one. No, I just wrote decision for Natalia Silva, just because I think Lee's a little bit tougher. I'm going to go decision for the game. Decision for the game.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I think Andrea Lee, she's ranked 13th, though. I mean, does that make a difference? I mean, I think so, a little.
At flyweight?
But
Women's flyweight?
But yeah, you're right. She only loses in decision in UFC. Well, Natalia Silva, she's fast. She has good wrestling. So the only thing that Andrea Lee that's questionable for me is that she could get taken down, though. So I'm definitely agreeing with you, going Natalia Silva decision. What do you think it was?
Yeah, Silva should have the fight wrapped up with her movement, speed, and striking. But it's also hard to bet on someone who's a minus. I think she's 390.
Why I'm not touching it.
Against a well-rounded veteran like Lee. I think if you want to look for some value, it might be worth a sprinkle on Lee if you want to bet on this fight, but I'm not going to. Since I do have to pick someone, I am going Silva as well. Silva via decision for the game for me.
The Silvas by decision. The decision queens, it looks like. All right. Next fight.
Did you take Silva? The other Silva?
I took both Silvas.
Yeah.
And I took Moraes.
You took Moraes?
Yeah, he took Moraes. I took Moraes too.
I took Silva.
Gibby took Moraes too.
I thought you guys both took pick Silva. That's weird.
Why would I I'm not taking Karina.
I mean, to be fair, this is just for the game. I'm not betting either of those.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'm just curious to see what the fucking odds are going to be once we drop methods.
I think decision. I honestly, what I actually would bet on each of those is fight goes the distance. I think that's a shoe-in, or at least over 1.5. But I feel it's going to be chalky for both.
Yeah. Cool. Give me what's our next fight?
Yeah, we got a middleweight fight between Andre Petroski and Gerard. GM3. So
yeah, just go with the nickname.
Yep. No, you want to go ahead and start off with this fight?
Oh, okay. I get to talk about my boy GM3.
Go for it. Yes.
So, Andre Petroski, he's going to be pretty high up there. He was a finalist in the Ultimate Fighter last year. He since then has had a pretty good record in the UFC. 4 wins overall. 4 wins overall, I believe, in the UFC. 4 wins by submission, 4 wins by knockout overall. He's pretty solid everywhere. I like his striking. I like his offensive grappling. His defensive grappling is something that leaves to be desired. How he lost to Brian Battle in the Ultimate Fighter by a guillotine. Now, what does GM3 do? GM3 is the submission god of the middleweight division. GM3 is the perpetual underdog. He's got 27 freaking wins by submission. And he's a plus 200 underdog? I get it. People always count out GM3 because he get knocked out by Hamza in 17 seconds. He did get knocked out by Pyfer, but unless you're one of those guys who are really, really good, you're going to beat the piss out of GM3, and he's going to get that sub round 3. That's why they call him GM3, because he has, I think, 10 plus round 3 submissions. I'm going with the underdog in this. I'm not going to put a high stack on it, but I think GM3 is one of the most live dogs you could see. Not the best record, but give me GM3 by submission. And in terms of what my pick is for the game, you have to go round 3 submission for GM3. All right, what you think it was?
Yeah, Gerald is always capable of pulling out an upset. I feel like he could struggle with the wrestling and strength of Petroski here. So, again, hesitant to lay chalk on Petroski, knowing the late rallies that you're talking about and what he's capable of. So, he's also very crafty on the mat. And if Petroski slips up even a little late, he could find himself in a bad position, like you were saying with that submission. So, not to mention the huge experience advantage that Gerald has. I don't expect him to pull off a miracle here. I think we'll get a submission or KO from Petroski in the first 2 rounds. Maybe violence would be the best call since it's about the same line as Petroski money line. So I'm gonna go Petroski. My best prediction really is gonna be fight does not go the distance. That's what I'm gonna be betting on for this one. And then as far as a prop here, I'm gonna go with Petroski inside the distance on that double chance.
And what'd you say for a game?
I'm gonna go round 2 TKO.
Knockout, nice.
Petroski.
I don't blame y'all for not going on GM3. This is kind of like a long shot for me, but I got faith, man. I kind of got faith in that submission.
Yeah, we don't forget about your hot guy of the week.
Oh yeah, I'm waiting for that. We didn't have one last week. We need one this week.
You need to give the people what they crave.
Sorry, what round you say? Round 3?
Round 2.
Round 2. Okay.
KO.
Yeah, so I'm kind of on the side with Noah. So my problem with Andre is he gives it out all in his first round, and then he looks gassed by the second round. So then he has to body lock you, so he could just gain some air, so he could get some wins, so he could go all out round 3. So, and I think Gerard could jump on the opportunity at round 2. So, and plus he has a 4.5 reach advantage. So for our game, I'm going with Gerard, a submission, round 2.
Oh, all right, all right. I like it.
Actually, let me change mine to KO round 1.
Round 1.
Okay, you're giving GM3 no faith now.
We'll go
I
round
don't know, dude. I don't think Petrosky's a Joe Pyfer, man. I really don't.
Hey man, it's okay. It's okay. All right, let's move into our next fight. Our next fight is Austin Hubbard versus Kurt Holenberg. Bug, right? Bug? Yeah.
Hullaball.
Hullaball. Noah, break it down, buddy.
All right. Ultimate Fighter finale. I believe this one is, if I remember correctly. I believe this is the Ultimate Fighter finale. I forget wherever if NAF is or not. Yes. Austin Hubbard versus Kurt Hullaball. I'm not a huge fan of Kurt Hullaball. I don't like him that much. I think he should be a wider underdog, to be perfectly honest with you. I think his striking is pretty sloppy. I think his takedowns are pretty sloppy as well, too. But he's shown some decent wins, but some crushing losses. Austin Hubbard coming off a loss. The only reason I like Hubbard a little bit in this is I like his striking a little bit more. I think he's a pretty violent fighter. He really throws a ton of volume, which I think is really nice too. All I really got in terms of this fight is just Hubbard money line. I think honestly, I don't think it's neither guy's tough or strong enough to really go for violence in this one to go inside the distance. So Hubbard money line, I just think is going to be probably your best option with this one. What am I going to be picking for the game? I'm going to go in Austin Hubbard by... I'm going to go decision. I'm feeling a decision. I'm feeling this one's going to be a little bit of a kind of fight. How about you, Gibby?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not touching this fight whatsoever. The last time Hubbard fought in UFC was 2021. And then Kurt, last time he fought in UFC was 2019. I mean, they're active fighters. Yes, they are, but last time they fought in UFC was that. I mean, they're not standout guys like you said. And really, I mean, Austin has never been knocked out. He has stamina to outpace his opponents and can get the late finish, but yeah, I'm going Hubbard decision with you though.
This is the finale, by the way, the tough finale.
But yeah, so.
Yeah, as entertaining and fun as Holberg is, I think the guy like Hubbard is his ceiling. You know, unfortunately, Holberg.
Holberg.
Unfortunately for Holberg, I expect Hubbard's overall game to be too much and see Hubbard grind it out. So I think it's going to open up some takedowns and it'll be a longer fight. Maybe not as exciting as you'd like to see. And I think it's going to be enough for the judges. So I'm going to go Hubbard via decision.
Hobart. Hullabah.
Hubert.
One day, Waz, we're going to get big. One of these fighters is going to see you horribly butcher their name, and they're just going to roast us, and it's going to be freaking hilarious.
I'm going to come fight you.
I'm the new
I'm
so.
Gibby, you're not. We've established this. You're not. You keep winning. I don't know how. Are your bets doing good?
I mean, Nashville, I made money, but like the last fight, I just pretty much made whatever I put in, I made back.
Yeah, same. I was up technically, but not by nothing worth of note. Maybe like 4 units, which is garbage.
Yeah, I think
it's not garbage.
I think bet like
my unit size is way smaller than yours was.
Yeah, but it's all about that though. At the end of the day,
it will be gone this week.
Well, if you're up 4 units and you're betting 1,000 a unit, you're up $4,000. That's not bad. So.
And I ain't betting $1,000 a unit.
I know, but I'm just saying it's not. Don't say it's garbage.
Okay, it's less than stellar.
It's not less than stellar.
It ain't paying the bills.
Most gamblers can, dude. That's not what gambling is about, especially when you're betting fucking $5 a unit. No shit. But what I'm saying is, you gotta be realistic. 56%, and you're technically in the top 5% of bettors. So.
Are you saying I could make this a living now? I could retire as a professional bettor?
If you just
put more into it, yeah.
Just put my check in there.
Just put your whole check in there. Just fucking run it. Sell your car.
Hell yeah. You know what? Sell my car. Put my check in there. We're making money in UFC 290 too. Full time.
Literally, you just go like 0-11, just lose it all.
At that point, we just go to the bull in the back room.
All right, let's move on to the next fight. I got Gregory Rodriguez versus Dennis Tulululu.
You know what? You were actually
That was
close.
close. That was
You
close.
were
Yeah.
actually close.
But yeah, so
got Robocop, yeah.
even with Rodriguez coming off a knockout loss from earlier this year, this is a layup matchup for him. I think the UFC is just setting it up perfectly. I expect him to have his way with Dennis here, whether it's on striking or grappling. I'd much rather prefer if he dragged this fight to the mat and did the work from the top. I think a nice ground and pound is the path of least resistance in this one, but I trust that he'll go the route as well, especially seeing how poor Dennis takedown defense is. I expect just a smashing. So my official prediction will be Rodriguez. This is going to probably be my lock of the night. Rodriguez inside the distance is going to be what I like here. As far as a method inside the distance, he's got what? 8 KO, 3 submission. Let's go KO. And let's go round 2 KO. I'm liking round 2 KO for Rodriguez. What about you, Noah?
I hate that line. I hate that line on Gregory money line for good old RoboCop. I think that's horrible, very chalky. I do think he's gonna win, but man, he did get knocked out. I think the reason he got knocked out wasn't necessarily because Fajeda really hits hard. I think he just wear too much damage from his fight against Cheaty 2 fights prior. RoboCop just loves to stand and bang, and I feel that's his problem. When he's got good grappling, and Dennis Tululin, he has 4 losses by submission. This guy sucks at grappling. RoboCop honestly should just instantly take it to the mat and get a quick submission, but it's not in his nature. He just wants to brawl. He just wants to bang, and I feel that could be a problem with him. Tululin's not the best striker, but he's got high volume. He throws a lot. It scares me a little bit, but I think Rodriguez inside the distance is a safe pick. If he goes for the submission, he gets him down round 1. If he stands and bangs, probably going to be a round 2 TKO. I see no way Tululin stands past that. So I think lock Gregory Rodriguez inside the distance for good old RoboCop. When am I going to pick for the game? I don't think he's going to be smart, so I think it's going to be a round 2 knockout, honestly. I don't think he's going to do the smart thing, which is just take him down, submit him. How about you, Gibby?
Yeah, I completely agree with you guys. I mean, Dennis I think, is just a first round knockout or bust, pretty much. And they fought pretty much the same opponent with Park. I mean, RoboCop knocked out Park while Park submitted Dennis. So I'm definitely going with Dennis. I'm going round 3 knockout, just to be different from you guys.
Nobody had round 1. Someone should take round 1.
No, I'll take round 1.
I didn't think I could sway you that easily, but okay.
You can. I'm the noob. You can.
I think this will be a good fight, though. I think this will be a banger of a fight, honestly.
Should.
All right, let's finish out the prelims with Chris Weidman versus Brad Tavares. Gibby, why don't you start us off with this one?
Yeah, Chris, the All-American Weidman. He has a 4-inch reach advantage. He's 11-6 in UFC. Won 4 by decision, 4 by knockout, 3 by submission. He had pretty much injured his leg.
Hurt.
He hurt. Yeah. I didn't see the X-rays or anything. He shattered it or no? Or
Gibby, that's the worst leg break in the history of the sport. It's tied with it.
Ooh, I didn't see it, so I gotta see it after this podcast, after this session. So
it's the same as Silva's. It just his whole leg, his whole tibia snapped in half.
Okay, then. Oh, I can see it. So yeah. So so with that injury, that's his stamina's gonna be questionable to me. So Brad Tavares, he's durable, has good takedown defense. He's lost 4 by decision, 4 by knockout. But he's 14-8 in UFC. For our bet, I'm taking Brad. I'm going knockout. And as for which round, I'm going late round 3. I mean, it could be round 2, but I'm going round 3.
Okay.
What do you think, Noah?
I never thought I'd say Brad Tavares is my lock of the night. I always fade Brad Tavares. Always. I've never picked Brad Tavares in a fight, and it's made me money. But at the end of the day, you don't come back from that leg break. It's the same exact leg break that Anderson Silva had. Anderson Silva never looked the same since. Same leg break that Conor McGregor had. He hasn't come back yet, but I'm not banking on it. And then even before the leg break, Weidman wasn't looking good. He got withered down by wars of Yoel Romero. Well, not even a war. He got flatline destroyed, cracked his skull, literally. And then got the living piss beat out of him by Luke Rockhold. One of the worst, like, not stoppages, late stoppages of all time. And then he had the worst injury of all time. Tavares is a tough guy, hard to finish. Only really Whitaker finished him anytime recently. And he's got thick legs. So Weidman's not going to be kicking him. He's got 80%.
Wait. Who, say that again? You said that he wasn't fit. The last person to what? Finish Tavares?
Yeah, one of the last persons to finish him was Whitaker.
No.
Who finished
Bruno
one?
Silva TKO'd him round 1.
Oh, crap. That was his last.
What are you talking about? I was going to say, this is literally like months ago. We watched it.
This is how much I don't like Brad Tavares. And you know what's funny? I bet round 1 KO.
Yeah, and then
I'm literally looking at it right now.
Yeah, then Duplessis beat him on decision.
How the hell he went to decision with Duplessis? Which how hard Duplessis hits, I'll never know.
He went to decision with Israel Adesanya. What do you want from the guy?
Oh yeah, that Izzy played with him. He absolutely toyed with him. But yeah, regardless, I'm more so not really picking Tavares because of how good Tavares is, which I don't think he's that good. I'm more so picking him because I don't think Weidman's not going to take him down. He's not going to win a striking match with him. He's not going to kick him at all. He is going to avoid kicking him with like the plague. And I think Tavares is just going to beat the piss out of him. I'm going to go finish. I think inside the distance is easy. I think he's going to take him out, beat the piss out of him. For the game, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm gonna go round 2 KO. Round 2 TKO. I think that's likely. I could also see him just breaking his leg again. Tavares just honestly kick his leg and he's done. What you think, Waz?
Yeah, I was surprised to see the line so lopsided here. I thought at best we see Tavares at around minus 150 range, but minus 270 is someone's gonna lose their job this weekend. As mentioned previously, the red flags with Weidman, Noah's mentioned them, has been the durability, but getting knocked out by power punchers like Yolan Romero, Gardin, Musazi, Jared, Souza, and Dominic Reyes is far different than volume strikers like Tavares. In the 14 UFC wins, he has only won by knockout twice. The last time came in 2018. It's also been close to 4 years since Weidman's been knocked out last, and that came at 205 against Dominic Reyes, which Jan Blachowicz knocked him out. So, lastly, something I've believed a lot of people have overblown the standing knockout narrative a lot. So much to the point that they are backing a minus 270 dog in this situation against a veteran wrestler who could have a solid success in controlling takedowns. I think people forget because the guy's been gone for so long. And yes, it's a risky fight. But again, Tavares is not known to be a big knockout puncher and only recorded 4 knockdowns through 22 UFC fights. So I'm not really worried about him. I think if we see Weidman come out in the wrestling stance and take him to the ground, we're going to see him grind it out for 3 rounds. So I'm going to go Weidman via decision.
Waz, why do you keep picking guys coming off 2-year layoffs? You pick Chiesa. You pick Tucker. Why do you keep doing this? Stop.
I'm going to win one.
You're not gonna. This is the worst one, too. Homie, he's going to get his... I don't think Weidman's not tough enough. I'm just banking he's just gonna kick his leg, he's gonna drop, and Tavares gonna beat him with ground and pound. I don't think Tavares got power. I just think Weidman doesn't have anything left.
Hey, but this is what makes the show, man. Complete opposite thinking here. So
all I can say is I am 2-0 on this show, picking against people coming off 2-year layoffs. Gibby, please speak some reason.
He did. He already gave his pick.
What he did?
I
did.
Tavares?
Jeez.
Yeah,
Hey,
I did.
Tavares. He went with the losing side.
Tavares round 3 knockout. I did.
All right, boys. Let's get on to the main event.
Main card, not
Main
main
card,
event.
not main event.
We skip it around.
So we got Chito Vera
Chito
opening
Vera.
up the card against our boy Pedro Munoz. What you got going on for this one, Noah?
Oh man, my eye kind of hurts looking at Pedro. I'm not a fan of Pedro Munoz, but the one thing I'll say with him, he's got volume and he's a good leg kicker. I like Chito, but his thing that's always infuriates me, God, he's such a slow starter. He just loves to give rounds. He's allergic to fighting in the first 2 rounds, and I don't know why. I really don't. And that loses him fights. I think your best bet for this fight, 100% easy money, is honestly to bet it goes the distance, because Chito Vera's never been knocked down. Only 4 fighters past 10 fights have never been knocked down. I can't remember the 4th one, but the others are Chito Vera, Max Holloway, and Israel Adesanya. Pedro Munoz has never been knocked out across all of his fights. How many he's got? 27? Yeah, 27 fights. Well, 2 no contests, 29, but never been knocked out. I don't think Vera's going to knock him out, but I think he'll probably beat him up over the 3 rounds and eke out a decision. I think it might be smart to live bet after the first round, because Chito Vera is more than likely going to lose that first round, become a dog, and that might be some good money right there if you then bet Chito Vera when he's dog money, honestly. So that's why I think. Give me Chito Vera by decision. What you think, Gibby?
Vera by decision. Wow. Yeah, I mean, 17-4 in UFC, winning 7 by knockout, 4 by submission with Chito Vera, and he has a 5.5-inch reach advantage. And his knees, elbows, kicks, they're amazing. I feel like he's made of steel, because he doesn't show that I don't see him bleeding at all. Like, he doesn't get cut. Well, Pedro, he's 9-7 in UFC, loses 4 by decision. Didn't lose 1-4 by decision, 3 by submission. Yeah, you said only loses by decision for both of them, but I'm going with Chito Vera. I think he could get the job done. But yeah.
What do you mean job done? You think he's going to be first to knock him out?
I think so.
Oh.
I almost say knockout.
I think he'll win by eye poke.
As for which round, I'm going to say round 3. It's going to be a late finish. Want to see that? What do you think, Waz?
No intention of playing this fight. I feel Vera has a chance to come out strong for round 2 and 3. We always see him having a slow start. Munoz has that forward momentum, so he's gonna, try to push on Cheeto. But I think Cheeto's gonna open him up with some of them elbows, and he's just gonna walk him down for the whole fight. For that reason, I'm going to pass on this fight, but I will bet the over 2.5 as my favorite spot here. Vera should get his hand raised, by being the more damaging of the two. So I think the way the judges are going to score this, they're going to see that Cheeto had more of that damage. But over 2.5 is my favorite bet. If I have to pick a prop, I'm going to go Cheeto Vera by decision.
Hey, how do you think Chito Vera feels fighting on the undercard of Sean O'Malley, fighting for the title? Only person to beat him, and now he's fighting 5th fight on the main card where O'Malley's fighting for a title. That's gotta hurt. That's gotta sting.
It's just the game, man. It's how you market yourself.
You think he might get that if O'Malley wins? If you think he might get that, we might get that rematch in the future?
I think if he wins this week, then I think him and O'Malley is going to be the next one to make.
What about Merab?
I think they'll do December.
What about Merab?
I don't think Merab's going to go up to fight O'Malley next. I think Merab fucked himself by refusing to fight Al Jones, saying that, he won't fight friends. And Dana feels a certain way about those types of guys. So I think he's going to stiff him.
I would much prefer that. I think they'll probably still put him in there, but I would much prefer what you're saying, honestly.
Yeah. We'll see. But hey, let's get into the next one. I have Neil Magny versus Ian Gary.
Real quick, we want to just briefly address Blackshear is quick replacement. Not talk about it because it's too short notice. But yeah, Damon Blackshear is going to be stepping in the face of court in the stead of Cody Garbrandt against Mario Batista. One thing to mention, I don't like betting it. I guess I go with Blackshear. But yeah, what you
Yeah,
think?
we're just not gonna. I'm not gonna say anything because I really don't know. It's literally the week of. This card has been changed out and flipped around. So
God, the original card was
Yep.
so much better.
yeah. So, it's just one you just sit back, enjoy, see what happens. Maybe you'll see another twister. Who knows? But the fight we're gonna break down is Neil Magny versus Ian Gary. Gibby, why don't you start it off?
Yeah, and Neil Magny, he's got a 5.5 reach advantage, but he is 11 years older. So, I mean, if he fights someone that's better at grappling, he loses, I think, most of the time. And he forces fighters to fight his way, which I do enjoy. But Ian Gary, he's 5-0 in UFC. He's got two first round knockout finishes. He's powerful everywhere, and I think he is an underrated grappler. And I think he's my hot guy of the night too.
Oh, Ian Gary's his hot guy of the night.
I mean, he's undefeated, so you got to go with him. So I'm going with Ian Gary. And I think
You like the Irish?
I think that his grappling is gonna surprise you, and I think he's gonna out grapple Neil. So I think he's gonna get the second round. Should I say submission? Nah, I'm going knockout. No, I'm going to say submission. I'm going to say he's going to get his first submission. UFC submission.
Yeah, usually I'd give Magny the benefit of the doubt, especially at a wild odd like this, but I feel Gary can touch him up enough to eventually find that finish. So for me, I am not paying minus 425 on Gary. Hell no, stay away from that. Don't touch it. I am keeping my eye on over 1.5 at minus 175, but we'll see what happens with that. Maybe a little chalky, but it ends up hitting. So I'm going to go Gary. Gary inside the distance. I'm going to go KO. Let's go round 1 KO. Why
That
not?
you're looking at over 1.5.
For the game. I'm just going flashy for the game.
All right.
But yeah.
What are you thinking, Noah?
I am on mostly the same board as Waz. This is basically past the fighter with the most wins in welterweight history versus Future, Ian Gary Future. A lot of people chat on him honestly for how his some of his fights went, where there were closer fights, he got rock dropped, but he won those fights. He showed heart and determination, and he has a very good striking set. I ain't picking the striker to go by submission like Gibby, but I will say I'm also not putting money at a minus. UFC's website has a minus 450, minus 400 anything for Gary. Screw that. No, but I love how Waz mentioned it. I was literally going to say it myself. Over 1.5 is spicy. It's very spicy. People are really torn because Neil Magny is a guy who predominantly only wins by decision, and Ian Gary is a more so KO artist. I like over 1.5 for Gary. I think that would be my pick, but it's a little scary picking specifically Gary just because of that line. And Neil Magny has the most wins. He probably predominantly focuses on his jab and his long reach, and he likes to tie people up with those long limbs. But if Gary keeps him at distance, Magny is susceptible to kicks, and I think he could eat a high kick and go down. Give me Gary by round 2 KO.
Round 2 KO.
But betting, I honestly would just think do over 1.5.
Give me change that to round 2 for me.
For you, so we're all rocking round 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you going submission.
Yeah.
You're going for his first submission in the UFC.
Yep, let's get it.
I would laugh so hard if that hits. I would please put money on that, and I hope it hits.
I am.
honestly.
I'm going to. I'm just going to straight bet it.
Gibby, are you gonna be coming over this weekend or what?
That's a good question.
That's not a good question. It's just you're coming over.
Yeah.
Don't know, because my cousin from Florida's coming in, so I'll let you.
See, Gibby, this is where when you film the podcast, you got to be watching it with the host. So, for football season, I'm gonna need you to clear your
Yeah.
schedule.
All right.
We're gonna be doing live streams of Red Zone for 8 hours straight.
8 hours straight. Hey, dude, nice little watch along companion.
There you go. All right, let's get into our co-main event of the evening, where we
Damn,
have
small card.
Weili Zhang versus Amanda Lemos. I'm gonna get us kicked off here. You know, I feel Weili won't have the gun shy approach that Rodriguez did. She should be able to get her offense off all while landing her takedown zone wearing on Lemos. I expect that to translate into a late finish here. So, you know, wildly available. Total is set at 3.5. You know, I feel like I need an extra round and a half to feel comfortable making violence bet on the fight here. So Lemos will be in danger early, and I suspect she can clip Weili a couple times, but I definitely think Zhang's durability and ability to mix it up and take shots, come back hard, is going to get her the finish. So, you know, looking to see the grappling, the top position. I think we're going to get a finish on the ground and pound somewhere between round 3 or 4. So give me Zhang. Give me Zhang inside the distance. I'm going to go KO. Ooh, I don't know. I like her on sub. This is a tough one for me. I'm going inside the distance, but you know what? Let me take that submission round 4. I'll go submission round 4. What about you, Noah?
I like a lot what you're saying. Backing off that submission thing, I want to mention that Lemos's last loss, when she looked very dominant overall, was actually by submission, proving that while she has really good offensive grappling, her defensive grappling leaves a lot to be desired. I'm liking Zhang a lot. She's done a lot of improvements after her losses to Rose. Even though she got basically wrestle fucked and dominated by Rose in the second match, she worked heavily on her wrestling, mixed it in her fight against Joanna, the rematch, where she had a good mix of grappling and striking, and then faced a very prolific wrestler in Carla Esparza and just absolutely won every grappling exchange, eventually getting the submission. Zhang hits hard, she cracks, she has lots of volume as well too. A very high significant strikes landed per minute at 5.79 with a very high knockdown average as well too, meaning she hits hard, hits fast, and she can grapple. I think she's on her way to being the #1 pound for pound women's MMA fighter, honestly. Not the most prestigious title, considering right now it's Alexa Grasso. But I think she's going to probably work her way up there. I actually think this is going to be probably the best fight of the night, to be honest with you. I think it's very competitive, and I think Lemos hits hard. I think she hits hard, she's got power, and she can definitely crack. But I am going to be leaning towards Zhang, and I think Zhang's just going to be the overall better striker and better defensive grappler. And I think she's actually going to get the submission. I really like, honestly, inside the distance, doing a double chance with Zhang by KO or finish, or KO or submission, not KO or finish. KO or submission, I think is a very good bet for this fight, to be perfectly honest with you. But I definitely think it's ending in violence and should be a banger. Give me Zhang round 3 submission. 3 submission. I don't think Lemos is going to go past 3rd round, honestly, because she's never been that far. What do you think, Gibby?
I agree with you. Just the question is stamina. I mean, Amanda definitely has the power, and she has the takedown defense to last probably the first few rounds. I mean, if you look at her takedown defense, it's at 81%. But yeah, it's just a question for stamina. If so, Amanda's pretty much like a first round knockout or bust for me. Other than that, I'm going with Zhang. I'm going round 4 submission.
I don't think it's going to get that far. What did you pick again was for what round?
Same thing. 4.
Round 4?
Round 4?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm thinking 3 or 4. I'm probably gonna bet both.
I don't know. I just don't feel like Lemos is going to go that far. I think she's going to gas. She looked like she gassed in her last fight against no, not her last fight. What was it? No, it was her last fight against Rodriguez. She looks like she was gassing before she got that finish, honestly.
I mean, she is 36, so
Yeah, she's a little bit older too. That's not good for women's MMA, honestly. I think Zhang's gonna take it. I think she's gonna do a really good job. I'm leaning maybe towards maybe swapping mine around 2, but I'll leave 3 just for the sake of it.
I kind of want Lumos to win just because Zhang now beat up Joanna twice.
Oh
So,
yeah, actually that's why it makes sense for you.
yeah.
I don't know.
Alright,
Good fight. So
let's get to our main event where you have the Funk Master Aljamain Sterling versus Sugar Sean O'Malley. This is going to be very similar to the Gaethje Poirier fight for me. While I would love to see Sean hold the title, I don't think we're going to see it. And so, to break this down, I'm expecting a lot of love on O'Malley to reign in this week as we inch closer. And as most casuals like to bet the day of, I think that plus 200 that he's sitting at currently is probably going to be closer to like a plus 150, maybe plus 175. I think a lot of money's going to start coming in. So I'm still holding on Aljo Sterling, and I'm going to keep hammering his line. I already have probably over 10 units on Sterling right now. I got him checking my numbers here. I was able to get Sterling at minus 220 earlier in the week. He's at minus 265 right now, so tells you when you can get him earlier in the week, and that those odds are probably going to keep going up. Or again, if they go down, I'm going to keep slapping more money on that. But at the end of the day, it's obvious Sterling wants to get this into a grappling situation. You know, once you grapple with O'Malley, it's pretty easy to get him to the ground. We haven't really seen a whole lot of grappling, but we've seen what he can do to Corey Sandhagen on the ground. We've seen what he can do to some really, really good wrestlers like Henry Cejudo, 2-time Olympic gold medalist. So at the end of the day, you know, you're going to see a dangerous Sterling trap O'Malley, put a lot of damage on him, and eventually get him to decision. So what I do like here is the over 4.5 at plus 160. I think that's a really good line. I'm pretty sure you're going to see O'Malley get closer to that plus 150, plus 170 range, I think. So what I'm going to take here is Sterling via decision. Again, no, not really a big fan here. Not going to bet that, but if I had to, I'm going to go Sterling via decision. If O'Malley wins, it's going to be by KO. This is the only way out. So what do you got, Gibby?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, Sean O'Malley has good. I mean, he manages good distance. He got good distance management, I would say. I mean, he avoids getting hit, but once he gets down, then that's where Aljamain Sterling shines. And it's just what's questions for me is just his stamina. I mean, he looks tired at the end of like round 5s at his fights sometimes, but I mean, going 5 rounds, I mean, gets you tired. So for this game, I mean, I gotta go with Sterling because of our pattern that I noticed since UFC 209 about going, you know,
oh,
favorite underdog. Yeah, it's still going.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So yeah, because the main card I bet underdog and it did hit, so I'm going with favorites. So I'm going Sterling.
Damn it! Why could it be for O'Malley?
Not his time.
For those who don't know, Gibby noticed a pattern for the last couple. How many cards do you remember?
I think 6. So since UFC 209.
Yeah.
209.
209.
Or 290. Sorry.
209.
Right.
We were in high school in 209.
What is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, it's been flip flopping. Underdog is win, and then favorite is one. Underdog favorite for basically the main event. So that essentially means for this main event, Aljamain Sterling's a lock.
Who knows? It might break. It doesn't last forever.
Never does.
I'll piggyback off that. God, I hope it breaks. I'm in the same boat as Watts with this one. Well, I really like O'Malley. I'm not a guy who really focuses on how the fighters act so much outside the octagon, but inside the octagon, O'Malley's a beast. He has such beautiful striking, and it's not even just cans. Like, his striking was still excellent against Petr Yan, a fight that I did bet decision. I actually double bet it by accident. But yeah, I just had a feeling that like Yan would give up rounds and O'Malley could like kind of like excavate that. But Sterling, as much as I don't like his style, I don't like how he fights. For example, a little statistic we could put up. Aljamain Sterling has a 25% takedown accuracy. He's landed 21 takedowns out of 134 only within the UFC. That's only in the UFC. It's not a fun style, but it's efficient. And I think he could grapple O'Malley. I honestly don't think it's... I think if it ends early, I think it's going to be going O'Malley by KO. I think, though, Sterling will probably get a late round submission. I don't think O'Malley will be able to hang out with that. Because keep in mind, this is O'Malley's first fight past, like, first 5-round fight. I don't think if it goes past round 3, I think it's going to instantly be a submission for Aljamain Sterling, to be honest with you. But hear me out. O'Malley does have good guillotines in his jiu-jitsu competitions, guillotines and darts. Aljo might go in for a sloppy takedown, and O'Malley can lock up that submission. And I currently believe the early odds are like plus 2,200 or something like that. So that might be a fun thing to put like a quarter of a unit on if you really want.
That's
but
not
yeah,
a quarter unit. That's a 0.005 unit.
wait till it hits. Wait, no, I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go in for Aljamain Sterling, and I hate to say it, he's one of my least favorite champions, honestly, and I think he's going to grind it out. I think he's going to get some late submission. I personally like if it has available on whatever you're using. Over 3.5, I think is pretty good bet overall. I don't think he'll go past 4.5, but it might. It absolutely might. I would be shocked if O'Malley makes it to a decision. But what I'm hoping for is O'Malley by KO. And you know damn what? Just to hopefully manifest it, I'm going to take in the game. I'm going to take O'Malley KO round 2. Ain't gonna happen. I'm gonna lose points for that, but I'm gonna take it because I want it. I want O'Malley to get that title, and I want him to fight Chito Vera. And that's what everyone wants. That's what Dana White wants. Who wants Aljamain Sterling as a champion?
Yeah, I mean, I want to see him get knocked out too, but it's just, yeah.
Give me the give me for the game. I'm gonna go Sugar Sean KO round 1.
You switching up too?
I'm gonna for this one. I'm gonna go with my boy for the game, but I will be betting Sterling.
Yeah. Well, no, keep in mind, me and Watts, we're gonna be putting money on Sterling.
I need to catch up to Gibby, so this is where this play comes in.
I will sprinkle a little on O'Malley, but not. I'm not planning on banking on that. If that happens, we're gonna be ecstatic.
This is one you really just sit back and enjoy. Maybe do a little bit of live or some little props, but you're not gonna be betting on. You know, you got minus 390, minus 400, minus 480, minus 340, minus 265. You ain't putting $10 on a minus 400 to make less than, I don't even know how much you would make at that point, like $5.40 or, well, you make $6.
The odds are all chalk across the board. This is a
try to find the value. But we'll be, we'll also from our official Twitter tweet out everything as we normally do. 10 o'clock Central. Gibby will send it all out. So keep an eye on there. And then just our schedule, just so you guys know, pay-per-view episodes will drop Thursday mornings, correct?
Yep, Thursday mornings.
Fight nights we'll just do like a shorter, quicker episode Saturdays for those that want to listen to the fight nights. And then we will be doing, I believe within a week or two, we'll get more info on it. We're gonna record our first NFL preview show, and then we're gonna start doing a Tuesday morning episode's gonna come out for the week of football. So I think that'll start in about a week or two. We'll start making football content.
Nice.
Anything else, boys?
I do want to mention one thing to go on Aljo. He keeps talking about moving up. I don't like his mindset. Give me O'Malley, please.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna change mine for the game, but I'm just changing Sterling submission round 5.
Okay, I thought I was going to O'Malley too.
No.
All right, boys, close it out.
I'll wait. I want to get everyone's lock of the night, dog of the night, and fight of the night. You weren't prepared last week. I want you prepared now.
I'm not prepared.
Why not?
Because that's something that you gotta settle, bro. It's Tuesday. You gotta. That is something we gotta just tweet out. That's something we gotta tweet out.
Come on, I got already G
and 3. Mine will be the surprise.
I hate you. GM3 is my dog. GM3 is my dog. Tavares is my lock, and fight of the night is Zhang versus Lemos. That's what I've picked. All right. All right. Closing thoughts, boys. You guys excited for 292?
You're not gonna let Gibby go?
Nah, you're
I
good.
thought he wasn't
It's
going
fine.
either.
It's fine. It's fine.
No,
Gibby
You're
go.
good.
I want
You're
Gibby go
good.
now.
My
It's
lock-
Waz keeps ducking.
Okay.
me.
My lock of the night is Rodriguez. That's my lock
Okay.
of the night. And you said a dog, right?
Yeah, I want to lock a dog and just a fight at night.
Marina Muno for my dog of the night, since you went ahead of me, was.
Yeah, I'm going Marina as my dog as well.
Okay. Fight at night.
Chito and Pedro. I think that'll be a good fight. That'll be violent.
So wait, that's different than lock of the night, correct?
Yeah, just what you think
This
is going
is-
to be the best fight. This is not like a betting one. It's just I think it's going to be a best fight.
I think I'm gonna go Chito Vera versus Pedro Munoz.
Gonna piggyback off me too.
You know what? I'm gonna go actually Neil Magny versus Gary. That'll be mine.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
A fight of the night.
All right. Now we can close it out. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel and follow us on Twitter. Gibby,
X.
See you guys.
I missed the bird. No, wait, Gibby, wait, what'd you say?
It's a